Hello, English 101 students. This is your professor, Michael Blumenberg, and I hope that you're having a great week, not only in our class, but in all of your classes. I know it's easy to lose track of the fact that it's been not only a long semester, but also easy to lose sight of the fact that we're getting close to the end of the term. Looking at just about roughly a month left before we're into the final exam week. So really what I'm looking to do with this video is to shore up any confusion that you may have, to explain where you should be ideally in the research project, and just to make sure that you have a good overall understanding of my expectations as we're moving further along in the project. So I'm on our Blackboard page, and I'm going to go ahead and click on course content. Now for this week, I have combined a couple of weeks together, week 12 and 13, something a little different, trying to keep things interesting. And so I'm going to click on the weeks 12 and 13 folder and also the coursework sheet so that we can take a look and see what the expectations are in moving forward. So reading wise, let's start there. There aren't any articles that I'm assigning you to look at because you are presumably staying busy looking at opposing viewpoints and locating sources that are going to be helpful to build your argument and allow you to be successful in your paper. So keep working to locate sources you can use for both the annotated bibliography and your paper. Regarding the annotated bibliography, we'll take a look at that in just a moment, and I want to make sure that everything makes sense there. But note your due date is Sunday, November 12th, so you still got some time to put that together if you're still working, and at least as of the time of this video that I'm making it, as it's Wednesday, November 1st as I'm making this video. Discussion board assignments, there aren't any, but please stay in touch with me if you're having any problems with anything. And I realize you're an online class and schedules are hectic, but if you have any concerns, you're more than welcome to come in and meet with me. I've had the opportunity to speak with some of you throughout the course of the semester, and I won't name names because I'm not looking to embarrass anybody, but it's been an awesome experience getting to interact with my online students. And just email me if you want to come by during office hours. The 100 class that I teach it online, but I also have face-to-face sections. So if you ever want to come in and sit in on a 100 class, you're welcome to do so. Now, the other thing to know, and I haven't posted any link to submit this yet because I'll do it the next time I update the folders, when especially we're looking at the week 14 folder. But the research paper is going to be due on the 19th, so please note that deadline as you move forward. So having an understanding of the assignment sheet, I'm going to go back now, and we're going to take a look at the research paper structure just to make sure everything makes sense in the annotated bibliography. And I'm just going to go ahead and click to pull that up. And I can make this a little larger for the sake of the video here. Well, and that's actually the wrong sheet, so I will fix that. Let me do it this way and make sure I've got the right sheet in. Yeah, there we go. All right, and what I'll do for the sake of the video again is I'll just blow this up. I saw a boo-boo in my upload there, so I'll fix that. Nobody's brought that to my attention yet, but I'll put the change in on that. So this walks you through the structure for the paper that's due the 19th, and I want to remind you that you're looking at 3 to 4 pages total and 3 to 4 sources total. And the introduction, looking at 1 to 2 paragraphs where you're establishing the topic or controversy. Why as many as 2 paragraphs? Because you're looking at topics that you've selected from society and culture, so there might need to be a little bit more build-up to that. Thesis statement will reveal your argument. Please don't lose track of the fact that you are structuring a persuasive stance or an argument in the paper. Counter argument, that's new. We've not really done that, although you've been looking at that in the past draft plans that you've completed. But in this sense, you actually need to structure a counter argument that will come after your introduction. And it sounds kind of weird to acknowledge the opposite side of your argument, but doing so will allow you to establish credibility. And it's good to use a source here if you found one that you think really represents the other side, but it's not required. So you can use one, but you don't have to. 1 to 2 paragraphs is appropriate for this area. You might just be a single paragraph if well developed. By far the largest portion of the paper is the body, and notice I've put in caps. That usually signifies that you're screaming. And I'm not trying to scream at you, but you do need to prove your thesis by using your 3 sources and roughly 6 to 7 paragraphs where you're really showing your understanding of the topic and why you feel the way you do in structuring your argument. Now, the conclusion summarizes the argument, 1 to 2 paragraphs. Return indirectly to the thesis, and that is not restating the thesis word for word. You don't want to do that, but you want to return to the spirit of the argument and the thesis that you've structured, bearing in mind that it is a last impression that you will be able to give for the reader. And this call for action is something you can look a little more closely at as you begin working on the paper. Some topics will allow for the writer to directly involve the reader in something that he or she can do to make the situation better. So if your topic is more of a problem solution oriented argument, you might consider using that method in your conclusion. Now, due on Sunday, November 12th, is an annotated bibliography that will include 5 sources. Don't get confused. You're only using 3 to 4 sources on the paper, but I want you to actually show me that you have enough source material to be successful. That's why I'm requiring you to use 5 sources. You're not going to have to use every source in the annotated bibliography in the paper itself. And I have put some links, and I want to show you those real briefly. Well, let me see if I can lower that down. There we go. So I'm going to go back, and the first link, this is in the Research Paper Structure and Bibliography folder in the week 12 and 13 folder. The first link will link you out to Cornell University's library, and it was put together by Michael Engel, and he's done a really nice job of presenting students with examples and an explanation of what an annotated bibliography is. The second link links you to a familiar website called the Purdue OWL, and it will also walk you through examples and show you how to set up your document so that you're being successful on the annotated bibliography. Now I'm going to go a step beyond that, and what I'm going to do, so I'm going to go back to the week 12-13 folder. I'm going to click on the opposing viewpoints link, while at the same time coming back here and creating a new document. And I'm going to show you the easiest way to really work to set up. Let me close some of this down. And I'm just going to pull it up from scratch because we were having some problems there. There we go. I'm going to show you how to set up your annotated bibliography just so that it all makes sense. And so what you're going to do is put your name. You are going to put my name. This is all MLA documentation, by the way, or MLA format, I guess I should say. And you're going to put the class, English 101 Online, and you're going to put the date. And that's date, well, let's just do it this way. We'll just say November 12th to keep in the spirit of the assignment. You're going to center your document, and you're going to title this Annotated Bibliography. And you're going to come over, and I'm going to go back now to where I was in opposing viewpoints. So I'm going to go down to Society and Culture. And I'm just going to use bullying as an example. And so let's just say that you have your document set up, you have your 5 sources picked out, and you're ready to put together your annotated bibliography. And let's just say, for example, you're going to use the first featured viewpoint. Something in there clicks for you that you can use in your paper. Look very closely, because all you have to do is scroll down to the very bottom, and you'll find the source citation. It's pretty cool. And so all you got to do is hit copy and paste that over. Now you will have to change the font to match up with the correct desired font, which is 12 Point Times New Roman, so I'm changing that. And the paragraph option, if you click in the corner there, it's kind of hard to see, you can get to your settings. And you do need to create something called a hanging indent. So put that in there. And so an annotated bibliography is not much different than an actual works cited page, except you haven't written the paper yet. So we can't call it works cited because you haven't cited anything within your work because you haven't made that yet. Well, what you're doing instead is going down below, and the next step in the annotated bibliography is to give a short paragraph for all 5 sources, where you summarize the article. And I want you to think of 2 to 3 sentences. We'll do the trick there. And show how the article will fit into your research. And so that's, again, 2 to 3 sentences. Notice that the hanging indent went into the paragraph. You'll have to go in and take that back. It's a little bit frustrating, but when you go in and take that back. So, you might say the article, and I'll just copy this to save maybe a minute or 2 of time. Reveals blah 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 blah. Your other sentence where you're summarizing, this article will be useful to my research since because blah 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 blah. And you're going to do that for all 5 of the entries that you use for the annotated bibliography. And that's what it's basically going to do. And this is a way to jumpstart working on the paper. And I want to note that we're doing this in place of an actual draft plan, because once you put this annotated bibliography together, you should be in pretty good shape to actually start working on the paper. Please message me and email me if you need any help with this annotated bibliography. I'm more than happy to help you. Down below is the same kind of thing where you've been doing when you submit assignments. You just click the annotated bib, and again, November 12th is when this is due. Click Browse My Computer. Once you have it saved, you can pull it up and then submit it to me. And it's really that simple. So listen, you don't have to wait until the 12th of November to begin working on the paper. You can start on it early, but I wanted to give you ample time to continue your research, get the annotated bibliography together. Once you do that, I think you'll find the structure of the paper will really come together well. I think that's it, folks. I hope this video is helpful. If nothing else, all semester, if you say to yourself, I really don't enjoy these videos, I strongly encourage you to check this one out and let others in the class know that it's helpful if it's helpful to you. Lastly, I want to let you know that I still need to get extra credit write-ups from the International Festival. If you attended that at the Laurel campus or even the Somerset campus, please send me your write-up and I will accept that for extra credit. You can email those to me if you prefer. And don't forget to complete the survey for course evaluation. Those are sent in your email some time ago. Those will stay open for a little while longer, but your deadline's getting closer to completing those if you're looking for extra credit in the class. If you have questions about those, email me and I'll get back to you. Good luck as you're working to prepare for the paper, and if I can help folks, just let me know. Take